Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be covering demo problem 2, which is about downloading and analyzing state population dataset. We'll be downloading multiple JSON files. I'm going to download one JSON file for each state within United States. I have a URL here which has the resources state underscore files.txt. This text file contains names of each of the state JSON files. We'll be able to generate the URL for each state JSON file by replacing state underscore files.txt part of this URL with the corresponding state.json file name. Example would be alabama.json. Every state JSON file contains a dictionary. Each of those dictionaries contain three key value pairs. The keys are years 2000, 2010, and 2015. The values are the corresponding census population count for that particular state. Let me go ahead and copy this URL. I'm going to define a variable called prefix underscore URL, which is going to contain the prefix part of the URL up until data. We are going to concatenate each relevant file name to this particular string in order to download the contents of that particular file. Let me first download state underscore files.txt contents. I'm going to do that by typing request.get open parenthesis close parenthesis. Within the parenthesis, I'm going to type prefix underscore URL plus the string state underscore files.txt. Let me capture the return value into a variable called r. I'm going to invoke the raise for status function by typing r.raise for status. Then let me display r.text. Observe that we are getting a string here. It is very easy for us to split this string into a list of state JSON file names by using the split method call. Recall that you'll have to mention the string variable, then dot split method call, and you need to pass the separator as argument, which is going to be /n new line character in this example. Let me go ahead and execute this cell. Observe that we are getting a list of state JSON file names. I'm going to capture that into a variable called state underscore files. We are going to iterate over the state files in order to download content from each of those state files. Before we finish writing the program, I don't want to be iterating over all of the state files here. Let's use slicing in order to extract just the first three state files. So I'm going to type the list variable, which is state underscore files. Within the square brackets, I'm going to type my slice as :3, and that's going to enable us to retrieve just the first three state JSON file names. Let's write a for loop to iterate over the files within this slice. I'm going to do that by typing for state in state underscore files of :3. For now, let me go ahead and display state here. Let's go ahead and write the get function call for this particular URL. I'm going to type in request.get. We need to concatenate prefix underscore URL with the state name. Let's capture the return value into a variable called r, and since we are dealing with JSON files here, I'm going to invoke the JSON function call. Before I do that, let me go ahead and raise for status here by invoking the raise for status function call. Let's capture the return value of r.json function call into a variable called data. Let me go ahead and display data. Observe that we are getting three different dictionaries over here for the three states. What is missing in these dictionaries is that we do not have the name of the corresponding state, but we do have that information within the state variable here, right? I'm going to insert a new key value pair into this data dictionary by saying data of name. My key is going to be the name, and the value is going to be the corresponding state file name. Right now we are getting the useful information of the state file name, and now we are able to say which dictionary is for which particular state. Let's read all of the files data over here, and I'm going to capture all of that data into a list of dictionaries, and we are going to use that list of dictionaries to create a data frame. Each of the list items are going to become rows in my data frame, so I'm going to use rows as my list variable name here. I want to be able to append data inside the rows list here. So I'm going to say rows dot append of data. Let's get rid of the slicing over here and let me execute this cell. This is going to take some time to run because we are fetching contents of 50 different JSON files here. While it is running, I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to import data frame from the pandas module. I'm going to do that up on the top here to be consistent with respect to importing all the modules at the top of the notebook file. I'm going to say from pandas import data frame. Let me try to execute this cell. Looks like the previous cell execution is now complete. Since we have a list of dictionaries, we'll be able to create a data frame directly from that variable by saying data frame of rows. Let's capture the return value into a variable called df. Observe that we end up with a data frame where you have columns as the years and the rows are going to represent various states. Wouldn't it be nice if we can have the name column as the row index here instead of having meaningless row index of 0, 1, 2, 3, etc.? There is a way for you to set that in pandas data frame. You're going to use the set underscore index function. You want the data frame object instance reference variable to invoke the set underscore index function. So we are going to say df.set underscore index, and as an argument we are going to pass the column index of the column which we want to set as the corresponding row index. So we are going to have to pass the string name over here. This is going to return a new data frame object instance. So I'm going to go ahead and capture that back into the variable df. Let me just display df.head open parenthesis close parenthesis to take a peek at the first 5 rows within df. Observe that now we have been able to set the row index as the proper names of the various state JSON files. Let's go ahead and learn how to invoke the sum function on data frame df here. I can do that by typing df.sum open parenthesis close parenthesis. That's going to sum up all the 50 state population counts for 2000, 2010 and 2015 over here. Observe that you're getting a series where you're getting some values as the values and the corresponding indexes are going to be the column index from the original data frame df over here. I'm going to show you how to transpose the original data frame. You can do that by typing df.t. That's going to now convert the rows into columns. So your column index is now going to become each of the state JSON file name, and the row index is going to become 2000, 2010 and 2015 over here. After doing the transpose, you can perform meaningful function calls like max. I can say df.t.max open parenthesis close parenthesis. That's going to enable us to get the maximum population among all three of these census counts for each of the 50 states over here. That will be it for this particular demo problem. Let me quickly switch over to the slide deck. You have a third challenge demo problem for you to go through on your own. This is about the Madison bus alerts dataset. I have a snapshot of this particular dataset uploaded onto the course website. The bus alert dataset is a real time feed. If you access the original City of Madison URL, that's going to keep getting updated once in a few interval time. Wouldn't it be nice to write a Python program which automatically keeps fetching the updated JSON data from the City of Madison website? In case you're interested in doing that, you should be going through this particular challenge demo. That will be it for today's lecture.